Haitian Vodou is one of the most recognized forms of African spirituality worldwide, often misunderstood due to its negative portrayal. When many people hear the word voodoo, they imagine pin-filled dolls used to curse enemies or the resurrection of zombies. These are popular misconceptions fueled by media misrepresentation, not an accurate reflection of Vodou as practiced by its followers. Vodou, often spelled Vodoun, is a rich cultural tradition encompassing personal beliefs, practices, folk medicine, ethics, proverbs, songs, and folklore. As Haitian professor Leslie Desmangles explained, Vodou is more than belief. It is a way of life. At its core, Vodou teaches the existence of a supreme being called Bondi, an unknowable creator god. Practitioners worship various spirits, known as Loi, each responsible for different aspects of life. For instance, a farmer might honor the spirit of agriculture, while someone seeking love would offer praise to Erzuli Frida, the spirit of love. These spirits can also manifest through possession during rituals. Vodou's roots trace back to West Africa, particularly modern-day Benin, where the word voodoo means spirit in the Fon language. It evolved from ancient practices of ancestor worship and animism. However, the form of Vodou we know today developed during the African slave trade between the 16th and 19th centuries. When African slaves were brought to the Americas, including Haiti, they brought Vodou with them. Although a 1685 law required slaves to convert to Christianity, they secretly merged their traditional beliefs with Catholicism. This syncretism led to unique practices where Catholic saints were associated with traditional Eloi. For example, in Haitian Vodou, Saint Peter is linked with Papa Legba, the gatekeeper of the spirit world, and Saint Patrick is associated with Dumbala, a snake deity. Vodou's roots trace back to West Africa, particularly modern-day Benin, where the word voodoo means spirit in the Fon language. It evolved from ancient practices of ancestor worship and animism. However, the form of Vodou we know today developed during the African slave trade between the 16th and 19th centuries. Haiti, the second most populous country in the Caribbean, has a population that is 85 to 95% of African descent. This connection to Africa is deepened by the fact that around 1 million Africans were forcibly brought to the island during the transatlantic slave trade. These people came from various parts of Africa, including West Africa, from Senegal to Angola, Mozambique, and Madagascar, with some also originating from Sudan and Uganda. In Haiti, Vodou became a source of strength for slaves, helping them endure hardships. It even played a role in the Haitian Revolution, which led to the expulsion of the French colonizers. The survivors of this revolution fled to New Orleans, bringing Vodou with them. Although Vodou was practiced there before 1791, it gained prominence in the 19th century, especially under the leadership of the famous Vodou priestess, Marie Laveau. Today, Vodou is officially recognized as a religion in Benin and Haiti. It has spread to other parts of Africa, the Caribbean, and the Americas. Despite its widespread practice, Vodou remains misunderstood due to its portrayal in the media. Instead of focusing on myths like zombies and cursed dolls, it's important to understand Vodou as a spiritual practice and way of life for its believers. In Haitian Vodou, there is belief in a single supreme god, known as Bondi, a Creole version of good God. However, this god is understood through various forms or aspects called Eloi. This concept aligns with many African spiritual traditions, where a single god is seen as having multiple facets or manifestations. Do you remember the various manifestations of Amun-Ra in Kemetic religious beliefs? For example, in Vodou, when God is concerned with the protection of the people, this aspect is called Ogun, similar to the Yoruba deity of the same name. When presiding over knowledge, God is called Dambala, similar to the Fon tradition. When associated with water, God is known as Simbi, as in Congo spirituality. The term Vodoun itself originates from the Fon of Benin, referring to these divine aspects. Over time, it has come to represent the religious practices as a whole in Haiti. However, practitioners of Vodou often describe their role as Seviloi, meaning to serve the loi, reflecting their dedication to these divine aspects of Bondi. In Haitian Vodou, ceremonies always begin by honoring Bondi, that is, God, with a libation. Each geometric figure used in these ceremonies represents a different aspect of God. Vodou is rich with diversity, consisting of 21 different groups, or nanshans, that worship the Elwa, spirits, in distinct ways. A key part of Vodou worship involves feeding the Elwa through offerings and sacrifices. In African spirituality, God is seen as the invisible force that brings forth the energy needed to create and sustain the world. As God performs acts like keeping rivers flowing or lighting the earth with the sun, this energy is expended. To rejuvenate and sustain this divine energy, humans make offerings, ensuring the ongoing balance and cycle of life. Another essential aspect of Vodou worship is direct communication with the Elwa. This often occurs through trance states, where Elwa temporarily possesses a devotee, allowing the spirit to communicate and interact with the community. This phenomenon is similar to practices found across Africa, such as the possession rituals of the Hausa, the priestesses in Madagascar, or the Zulu Sangoma. Haitian Vodou identifies two main spiritual components within each person. Gwobonange, also known as Big Good Angel, equivalent to the Egyptian Ka, or West African Salido. This represents the divine energy within every person that sustains life. Tibonange, also known as Little Good Angel, comparable to the Egyptian Ba or West African Semedo, this is the soul that provides moral guidance and is accountable for one's actions. At death, the physical body separates from these spiritual entities. The Vodou priest performs the Desunan ritual to properly separate these components and send the Tibonange, which refers to the soul, to paradise. Those who have lived righteously and passed the test of the Last Judgment reside in Guinéen, a cosmic version of Africa, where the Gwobonange, divine energies, of deserving ancestors dwell. Energy, a universal constant, never dies. Through rituals, Vodou practitioners connect with these ancestral energies, offering them sustenance and seeking their guidance and blessings. In African tradition, the dead are never truly gone. Their physical bodies may die, but their energies live on. This belief, particularly in the Bakongo concept of Nzambi, God, gave rise to the word zombie in the Americas, symbolizing the living dead. Ancestor ceremonies in Haiti often start by recounting the ancestral lineage of the Vodou practitioner, a tradition rooted in African identity. In African culture, a person's identity is not just a name, but a connection to their entire ancestral lineage, reflecting the belief that individuals are a continuation of their ancestors, tracing back to the primordial ancestor, God. This deep connection to lineage and community was disrupted by colonization. In Vodou, both women and men can serve as priests, a practice rooted in African spirituality. This equality is based on the belief that the Creator embodies both male and female aspects, reflecting a balance of genders. Women who serve as priests are called mambos, while men are known as hungans. This gender equality contrasts sharply with many patriarchal religions, where women are often barred from priesthood. In ancient African civilizations, such as Egypt and Carthage, women also held positions as priests and religious leaders. Despite its logical and spiritual foundation, Vodou has been heavily stigmatized, both in Haiti and beyond. This negative image, which has also affected Beninese Vodoun, has led to widespread fear, mockery, and rejection of the religion. Even today, many Haitians distance themselves from Vodou, despite its deep roots in the culture, with about 3/4 of the population still practicing it in some form. The demonization of Vodou and African spirituality as a whole began during the transatlantic slave trade. European colonizers sought to dehumanize Africans to justify their enslavement, and part of this process involved portraying African religions as evil or superstitious. Slaveholders also recognized that Africans who were connected to their cultural and spiritual roots were more likely to resist enslavement. As a result, African rituals were banned in the Americas, and enslaved people were forcibly converted to Christianity. However, Vodou persisted, often incorporating Christian elements like the Virgin Mary and various saints to survive under the radar. After Haiti's successful revolution, which was spiritually fueled by Vodou, Western powers retaliated by spreading the idea that Vodou was a primitive, evil practice. This propaganda was so pervasive that some Christians believed the 2010 earthquake, which killed 230,000 people, was divine punishment for Haiti's Vodou practices. Even within Haiti, Vodou has faced persecution, with the government and Catholic Church working to suppress it. Temples were burned, and Vodou was banned until 1987, when religious freedom was finally recognized. The well-known Vodou doll is often associated with Vodou, but in reality, it has no place in the religion. This practice of so-called witchcraft likely originated in Africa and was possibly used by enslaved Africans as a form of resistance against their oppressors during the Revolution.